Hello everyone and welcome to Brewed in Barnsley with your host me, Matt McGlone. Each episode I'll be joined by a well-known Barnsley personality to discuss how living here has shaped their lives. On today's episode we're joined by musician Tom Masters. Welcome to the podcast, Tom. First question, do you like tea?
I certainly do like tea.
How do you like it? How do you take your brew?
It's one of those, I'll get the cup, bang the tea bag in, and I'm one of those that leaves the bag in for the entirety of the drink.
Course,
I know
yeah.
that's going to cause controversy with certain people, but no, I leave it in. But I'm a nightmare as well for just leaving the cup there and it ends up going cold and I have to bang it in the microwave.
Well, as long as you don't put milk in first.
Oh, no, obviously
I think
not. Obviously not.
That's kind of
Not-
the big
not
controversy.
crazy. No.
It's got to be a nice strong brew. So let's talk about how Barnsley has brewed you then, Tom, really.
Sure.
You've lived here all your life, haven't you?
Yes.
Where did you grow up?
Yeah, so I'm from Wilthorpe, right here in Barnsley, not too far from the town centre. Lived there all my life. Lovely little place for sure, yeah.
Yeah, and how much has Barnsley changed in those years that... I mean, how old are you, by the way? I'm
26 now.
26.
Getting on a bit.
So 26.
Yes.
How much has Barnsley changed since you've lived here?
Sure. I think literally anyone that, let's say you haven't been to the town for even 10 years, maybe even 5 years, and you walked into that town centre then and you walk in today, like the entire landscape has changed. I've always loved Barnsley, always wanted the best for Barnsley and stuff, and it's just great to see kind of this massive transformation. And I think what that's done for the people that live here as well. I love Barnsley people, and I think they deserve that lovely town centre
I think
we've got right now.
I think the Barnsley people love you as well, Tom. Actually.
That's
something
that's very
come
nice
across.
to hear.
Honestly, though, since I was telling people you're coming on this podcast, and everyone was like, "Oh, he's the nicest man I know, Tom."
Very,
He's
very
lovely.
happy to be here.
He's
Thank you for
absolutely
having me.
lovely. So, yeah, we're really, really happy to have you here as well. And for anyone that doesn't know you, you're a singer, musician.
Yes.
So where did that all start in Barnsley then for you? What inspired you to get into that?
Of course, I started playing guitar when I was, I think, 8. Started playing guitar at Andy Stock's guitar school. Did all like the grades and stuff like that. Super grateful to the team.
Proper
there.
exams, yeah.
Yeah, did all that kind of stuff. And that kind of like set me up with my instrument. And then singing came quite a little bit later. I think singing's kind of one of those things. It's quite a vulnerable thing to do, singing. It's a very personal thing to kind of each person. And it sometimes just takes a little bit of time, a little bit of courage to actually get up and do and share that. And I think for a long time, I was like a little bit in my head, like a bit too nervous to kind of get out there and do it. But my singing journey, that all started with Barnsley Youth Choir. And I could literally talk about them for
Well, let's do that. Let's talk about them a little bit. Because I was reading something, Tom. You actually... Was it your audition? You didn't want to go and do it to join them in the first place?
Sure, it was never like not wanting to do it. I think I've always wanted to sing. Funny story. Barnsley Youth Choir, I don't know how many years it's been now. It's around 15, I believe.
Yeah.
Like the first audition day, right back in the day, me and my sister. My sister's also, she does lots of singing. She's amazing. But she was brave enough to go to the audition, and I bottled it, to be honest, and I didn't go. Kind of just touching back on that thing of like just singing being quite a nerve-wracking thing to do, and just at that time I wasn't ready to do it. So it just took me a bit longer to come round to it. I always wanted to sing, but that's how I kind of got into doing all this singing stuff. Yeah.
And then eventually you did go.
I did.
And get into the choir.
Yes.
I mean, how has that developed you then as a singer, and what does the choir mean? Because I mean, it's so... They're basically world famous, Barnsley choir, aren't they? They've won so many awards and...
Sure, yeah.
What's it like being a part of that?
Yeah, it's something even, I think I'm coming up to my 11th year involved now.
Yeah.
Something I never take for granted and that will always kind of remain the case. That choir, that team has done so much for me to develop as a singer, as a musician, performer. But I think it's the way, it's kind of hard to explain to people that like aren't in the room every single week and stuff, but like the way they develop young people into better human beings, like empowering them with musical skills, but also just life skills in general. It's given me so much. I always tell people it's given me everything good in my life. I pretty much thank them for everything I've got going on in my career and life.
Well, I imagine you get to meet loads of friends through it and contacts as well.
All my best pals there, absolutely.
Yeah. And do you travel the world with them?
Yeah, we've done all kinds of stuff from competitions and stuff. We've done the European Championships. We were 2-time defending European champions. With all the stuff in Barnsley Youth Choir. But we also do various little tours. The next one coming up, we've got South Africa in October this year. We've got some great friends over there that we've met over the years doing all these different trips. So going to be joining the team over there and having a good old sing in South Africa, which is crazy exciting for sure.
Yeah. And I don't want to bring you down with your age here.
No,
I am actually older than you, so I can't say anything. But 26 youth choir. How are you still clinging on there?
But this is the thing. Definitely, I've certainly not got the baby face that I used to have.
Oh, you do.
But, are you sure? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Well,
I still get ID'd as well. So it's all right. Don't worry.
Did actually get ID for the first time in forever the other day. I was very flattered.
What for?
But no, just went down to the pub. Went down to the pub for sure.
I got ID'd for nail scissors once.
For nail scissors, that is.
I didn't even know it was a thing. Honestly.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but I know how you feel. Honestly, I've been to pubs before where my friends have we've lined up.
Yeah.
Serve. You.
That was me. Yeah. That was me. When we're all 18 and stuff, and we're all going out, I was always the short one in the group, baby face again. It was they'd all just walk straight in, wouldn't even bat an eyelid, and I was getting ID.
And that's why you're still in the youth choir then?
I guess so, but yeah, kind of touching on your actual question. So as I've kind of got to the end of the bracket where the youth choir actually goes to, and I'm so grateful for this as well. The team there have given me a role in supporting our youngest members. So I work with our junior choir right in the centre of Barnsley, out and at what we call the west of Barnsley in Penistone. Okay. So that's Junior Choir Central and Junior Choir West. Mm-hmm. And that's 4 up to 7 years old. And I also do the Children's Choir West, which is 7 up to 12. Right. So that's kind of how I'm kind of keeping my involvement with having this lovely responsibility. I'm always, so happy to have the chance to kind of work with all these kids and stuff. It's such a fulfilling feeling. And with that, I also sing with the senior choir still as well.
Yeah, and I suppose they all look up to you as well. It must be great for them to...
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it'd be nice to think so, but like I said, it's just nice that I'm trusted enough by that team at BYC to do that sort of role.
Yeah. And you've been on TV with Barnsley Youth Choir as well,
yeah.
With Britain's Got Talent.
Of course.
What was that experience like?
Crazy. Where to begin?
Well, where did it come from? Did you apply, or was it
sure.
people in charge?
So when it comes to how we actually got on, so I'm just kind of singing in the choir and doing this little bit of leading with the younger ones. So I don't know all the ins and outs and stuff, but it just felt collectively the right time to do something like that at the time on the choir's journey. But super cool though, a bunch of kids from, people say this kind of thing, but a bunch of kids from Barnsley of all places, you don't expect a bunch of young people to be able to go down to a place like the Palladium, really give a good account of themselves in front of a national audience. I think the most important thing about that entire experience was a bunch of kids from Barnsley getting an opportunity and memory that they'll just never ever forget. It was really cool, really cool.
And I mean, we keep talking about this putting Barnsley on the map kind of thing.
Yeah,
I suppose in a way, it put the youth choir on the map at least, if not Barnsley.
For sure.
You're right, and I think that's the key thing is that it's telling people that there are opportunities out there, creatives, musicians. Mm-hmm. How do you feel the opportunities? What are the opportunities like in Barnsley for young musicians and creatives coming up?
For sure. I love this question. It's something I talk to so many people about. I feel like Barnsley, small towns alike, I feel like so many people can relate to seeing people go off to, the Londons, the Manchesters, these really, really big cities across the UK. Me personally, and I've kind of always held this, but I kind of feel it more strongly than ever right now. I just think it's such a good time to be from Barnsley. The people here are amazing. You just have to look around. There's so much talent, so many people working hard to support up and coming people with whatever kind of initiatives and things that they're trying to achieve. it's just a fantastic place to be. I want my base to always be here in Barnsley. I really want to grow from Barnsley outwards instead of go somewhere else as my base and kind of grow from there. I really think Barnsley's the place to be. So many people doing so many cool things, and I'm just really happy to be involved in this lovely community we've got right here.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic that you feel that way. I think as well that's inspirational in itself to people growing up now, maybe listening to this podcast and thinking, I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I could become a musician in Barnsley. But let's talk a little bit more about your career and tell people what you can achieve, because Britain's Got Talent, but also Banks Got Talent.
Yeah.
Is that kind of where things really ramped up for you, do you feel? Just explain a little bit about what Banks Got Talent was.
Sure,
Yeah, has it helped you, do you think?
Yeah, I think you can kind of look back. I always find it weird to like call it my career, because I've always just been like singing in my bedroom, doing all these little things, but suddenly these kind of little moments and milestones, they do kind of just stack up like over time, and you grow through those. But Banks Got Talent, really, really good experience. Solely went into that process, for the use of a better word. It just seemed like it was. It had a lot of drive and ambition to reach a lot of people, and as a musician, that's kind of what I'm trying to do best I can, just with my music, reach as many people so they can hear what I'm doing and I can get myself out there more. Because honestly, I knew quite a number of people kind of entering as well. Unbelievable amount of talent going into that thing. So never kind of anticipated making it as far as I did, never mind winning it, and that of course there was the £10,000 prize, which was just absolutely crazy. I was just like shell-shocked for days after that. It was wild, but very grateful for it. But a big reason why I was ultimately successful in that is because people got behind me, my friends, people that have kind of found me through my music at other gigs, turning up on the day, voting, just showing a load of love and helping me believe in myself when I needed to kind of get over the line on something like that. Yeah,
and I feel like that's something that you'll have from talking to people before this podcast with you coming on, that support, I can feel it. So you must be able to feel it yourself as well, and to help you over the line.
For sure, that's really sweet to say, by the way. But yeah, like I feel like yes, it might be like, me stood on whatever stage doing some singing, doing some songs, but there are so many kind of people behind that are backing me, supporting me, giving me the love to help me continue doing all that stuff. Yeah.
And for people listening, I don't know if they feel that being a musician is literally learning to play an instrument, rocking up at a venue and just singing. It's so much more than that.
Yeah.
And what I was so amazed by is reading how many gigs you've done. It's ridiculous. We're very lucky to even have you here. I don't know if you've had time to come onto this podcast.
I was so excited when you asked me, thank you.
You've probably got a gig in about 10 minutes when we finish. How many have you done in the last year? Can you remember off the top of your head? I don't know.
And I know the biggest, that's not the right word, like the most gigs I've done in 1 year, it wasn't last year, it was the year before. I did 288 gigs in that year.
Absolutely bonkers.
Did a few less last year. I think I did about 220 last year, if I remember correctly.
Not many then.
Not many at all, yeah. But where I'm kind of moving to right now, what I found, as much as it's great and it's so fun getting out there doing all that kind of stuff, like it's tough on the voice. I've got to admit, like the voice only goes so far, and I just feel like I found a really nice balance at the minute of doing enough gigs to kind of scratch that itch, because I love getting out there. I would do 100 a weekend if I could. They're just such a good laugh. But I've just found a really nice balance at the minute of doing those gigs when I can. Also, because I'm doing slightly less, I've got more time to write new material, get in studios, do rehearsals with people, and just kind of figure out like what the next steps are. So I feel like in a really good place for like where my career's going next right now.
Fantastic. And one gig I want to touch on in particular was in Barnsley Town Centre.
Sure.
With the man himself, Tom Walker. I mean, what was that like? He's an inspiration of yours as well, isn't he?
Absolutely, yeah. I was when he released his debut album, I was so a lot of artists these days, what they do like a load of like intimate venues like up and down the country, and you buy an album and you get a ticket for this really small gig. So it's called the Wardrobe in Leeds. I mean, Tom Walker can sell thousands of tickets, but this place was like a 300 capacity venue, if that. So got to go there, got to see all the new songs, got a picture with him. that was about 5 years ago. Never imagined in my wildest dreams that I might be a sport act one day, but look where we are now.
It's a real now and then moment.
Yeah, crazy.
Like, where I was
Really,
a fan and here I am singing with
Yeah, and I'm still a fan, for sure.
Yeah.
Still a fan, but so cool to kind of see where my career's gone to put me in a position to somehow get an opportunity like that to support him as well.
Do you know what was interesting as well? On our social media channels on Visit Barnsley, we had obviously a lot of love for Tom Walker, but then within that, it was Tom Masters was amazing, wasn't
That's
it? And
really
it was
sweet.
like
That's really nice.
it's a great platform, I suppose, for you. Did he give you any advice as well?
Do you know what? It was really kind of good, like just talking at the time with him and stuff, seeing his team, like I think that's such a big thing. Like, you know, Tom's out there doing all this amazing stuff, and he was so supportive, like really lovely about what I'm doing, really encouraging, keep going and stuff. But there's a team of people behind him as well that kind of make it all, and he like acknowledged that and stuff. And it's just kind of really cool to see someone that high up in the industry and kind of how it works. And I got to see that. I want to kind of emphasise that again. Absolutely. I got to see that happening in Barnsley.
Yes.
Right here. I got to see that taking place. So I learned and grew so much from an opportunity right here in Barnsley and someone like that coming here.
Yeah.
Just want to...
Well, I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
How amazing is it to have somebody like him coming to Barnsley?
Absolutely. And I hope it kind of sets a precedent and encourages other people looking in, because there'll be so many eyes on him, of course, that Barnsley is a place to be, and it can attract these big names and big things in general to come right here to our town.
And not only that, but there's an appetite for it. We can host it, you know, and people actually
we've
want
got
to
the
see it.
spaces.
And typically, I was on leave that week, missed him.
Really?
Completely missed, yep.
Really? Classic. You can't write it, can you?
I know. I was absolutely devastated, to be honest. And I was just going to talk about places in Barnsley as well. Sure. Then, so we've got that amazing square now.
We do.
Where people like Tom Walker have played, and where do you? We were talking a little bit before the podcast about this, and you said it was a challenging question.
It's tough, yeah.
Of where's your favourite place in Barnsley Town Centre?
Of course.
You can list 20 places if you want. Where do you love gigging? Where do you love eating? What do you love to do in the town?
No, there's all kinds of places, isn't there? Like, I think what's so cool about Barnsley right now, we've kind of got this blend of all the new infrastructure, you know, with the square and the glassworks and stuff like that. But I also think that's highlighted all like the really traditional places we've still got in Barnsley as well, which serve such an important purpose and is such a key part of our town centre. And this is where I find it difficult to like list off all these kinds of places.
Where was your first gig in the town centre? Do you remember?
What a good question.
400 gigs ago?
Probably more, to be honest. I'm trying to think. My first gig where I was playing on my own, it's been through a few names now, but it's on the corner of where Shambles Street is.
Oh, okay.
So it's been Blah Bar in its time. It's been Funky Buddha. I believe now it is actually Soul Lounge.
Now, yes.
I can't say that's for certain, but that was, and this might actually segue nicely into something else that I'd like to talk about, because my first solo gig was it was Barnsley Live technically at the time,
Absolutely.
And that's where I did like my first kind of set on my own. I think I've got a terrible memory, but I think it was.
We'll dig into the archives and find that.
Of course, yeah, you can check it for me.
But you mentioned Barnsley Live,
yes,
and that it's coming up 8th of June. You said, was it 2 weeks away or a few weeks away now?
Yeah, soon come round, crazy. Yeah,
but yeah, so Barnsley Live, amazing event.
Yep.
I remember last year was so busy in the town centre. What's it like from a musician's perspective to be able to play that?
So great. Again, best day of the year for Barnsley every year without fail, and that's because of an incredible team of people at Barnsley Live. I couldn't begin to name every single person, but just a really good group of people that have musicians and live music at like the forefront of their priorities, putting such a great day together. A free day for the town, which is great because there's so much good live music out there, both here, but it also attracts people in, and kind of going back to like what Barnsley is doing for creatives, musicians alike. It's not only kind of enriching a scene right here, people are taking notice from outside and coming into it. There's so many people that apply. I always feel so lucky that like my application is successful and I get to be involved. Just a great day, man. And I'm so excited for this year in particular.
Are you playing this year?
I'm playing. Yeah. So I'm doing. It's a bit different this year. I've been I've been granted with the task and responsibility of pretty much like opening the festival. So
Right.
going back to the Glassworks Square where the Tom Walker gig happened. So I'm going to be on at 12:30 opening the festival. So I'm going to be doing a set there, and I'm also going to be doing a headline slot later on in the day. So that first one's at 12:30, and the headline slot is going to be 8 o'clock at night. But this one is called Tom Masters and Friends, which is something quite different for me. And again, very flattered to have been asked to do this kind of thing. So instead of just me and my guitar, I've got a couple of plans to get some cool people up with me
fun.
from around the town centre.
Tom Walker's coming back, isn't he?
I mean, if he's free and he happens to hear this, he'd be very welcome indeed. He really, really would. Yeah.
But that sounds fantastic.
Sure.
And how many years have you played Barnsley Live for now?
I mean, I don't know how many years it's been going for. I mean, of course, it's important to acknowledge it's been live in Barnsley and then it became Barnsley Live. So as much as it's kind of like the same inner town music festival, it did kind of change hands, two excellent teams each time. But in live in Barnsley terms and Barnsley Live terms, I've never missed one. I've done every single one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's, I'm guessing when you're there as well playing, you'll go around and watch some of the other acts.
Oh, absolutely. What's so cool is I've got I think this is quite unique to Barnsley as well, especially in the music scene. It's I think you see a lot of creatives sometimes being quite competitive with one another, but I think we have such a tight-knit, like-minded community of people that just want each other to succeed. So people will come and watch me, but we will all then go and watch them, and there's just so much talent here right now. And yeah, I will be a performer on the day, but a fan of so many people on the day as well.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And when you're not working then, what kind of things do you enjoy to do in the town centre to relax and unwind? Is there anywhere you like to go? Just chill out?
Biggest thing away from I'd say from all my music stuff, I play badminton. I know it's a bit random, but we've got some great sports facilities here right in Barnsley. So I play in all kinds like different sports, all playing different matches. I play in the Barnsley League every week throughout the season. Finished third with Cawthorne in the top division this year, which is nice. But yeah, I'm a massive foodie. I love scram from all kinds of places. Too many to list off, but
Can't name your favourite place.
some great places indeed. Definitely.
Is this why you got so the hair? Obviously, the headband. I just thought it was there for to hold all your hair up.
I mean,
I feel like it's a badminton thing, isn't it?
I mean, it's to keep it out of the eyes for sure. Like I've tried playing badminton with it on. It's with it off. Sorry, it just doesn't work.
No,
yeah, keeps the sweat there, keeps the hair out of the eyes. Yeah, it's very useful. Yeah.
Fantastic. And when's your next gig? That was my.
Sure.
It's today in 5 minutes, isn't it?
I mean, imagine. Yeah. What have I got going on? This weekend, what am I doing? I'm doing a wedding this weekend. I'm playing over in Home Firth, Thunderbridge at the weekend, a place called the Woodman Inn, doing like a festival there. And then Sunday night, playing with my band as well down at the Botanist. That's part of a residency we've got there. So yeah, but biggest thing right now, as much as those gigs are going on, it's kind of all preparing for Barnsley Live, especially this Tom Masters and Friends set, kind of having to start rehearsals with a few people for that and stuff. So, yeah.
Are you writing new music for that as well?
I've got at least one, hopefully 2 new tunes ready for that. But like if people do listen to my music anyway, you'll be able to kind of hear all those that I've already released on the day for sure. Yeah.
And you're on Spotify, I think.
Yes.
Where can people listen to?
Tom Masters, that's all you've got to pop into your music listening platform. Whether it's Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, all that kind of thing, search for Tom Masters and you'll be able to find my music on there.
So for anyone listening as well about being a musician and really getting to know what it's like, what is a typical day or a typical week like for you, Tom?
I think the key thing there is always very different. I think the thing I've found, it's hardest, but one of the nicest things as well is there's kind of no like set routine, which can be very kind of useful for someone, just like knowing what's going on in their life. So every week looks different. I think the constant is you will find me gigging somewhere between Friday and Sunday and other days to be fair, but that's kind of the key day, when people are out looking for live music and stuff. But in the week, it is kind of like, trying to source gigs, source opportunities, organise writing sessions, studio time, like getting in there and stuff. Not currently in the studio right now because my producer, Rob Cooper, I'll shout him out, at Studio 5B. He's currently rebuilding his studio. He's moved house, so he's rebuilding all that. But that'll be done soon, so I'll be spending a lot more time with him at the studio and getting new new stuff ready. Yeah, so that's kind of what my week looks like.
So you sort of manage yourself then as well. There's no.
It's just me.
People are like, oh, well, you must be part of a record label and all that kind of stuff. It's
Yeah.
It's all you. You've got your own diary and your own calendar.
Yeah, I'm very traditional as well. Like I try and do like the like the digital diary like on my phone and stuff. But I always get a paper diary every year. Write down all my stuff, what I've got going on. But yeah, it's just me right now, and I fully appreciate and understand as things grow, and things have grown, especially over the last year, like a lot more than I anticipated, to be honest. You start to kind of get to a point where you do want to start building a little team, and I kind of have started doing that, not directly and consistently as such, but I've got like people in my life that help me with different things, with like, release campaigns, getting stuff recorded, etc. But pretty much, yeah. If you ever send like a message to the social medias, it'll be me replying to the comments.
You replied very quickly to us, to be fair. So
I try. To be fair, some people won't be happy about it because I'm a nightmare with my phone.
Sorry, no way. It took about a week. It took about a week. Yeah,
I'm a nightmare with my phone, honestly. Sorry to anyone about that. I am working on it. I'm trying to get. It's just a lot. I feel like we live in this time where like it's so amazing that like our friends and our family are more accessible than ever, but it can just also feel quite overwhelming at times.
It makes the world quite small. Everyone wants you immediately, don't they?
Of course, yeah. And I love that. And I love kind of like people and like talking to them, but like there's just a lot at times. Yeah.
So when did it get to the point with you where you thought, this is... I mean, I know we mentioned your career, and you're like, oh, it's a funny word to say, it's my career.
Yeah.
But when did it get to a point where you thought, this is something I want to do?
Of course.
And I can make a living off this. This is where I'm going to really commit to. When did that enter your head?
Sure. I think I kind of arrived in / like on the scene at a really, really good time. I feel like over the years, over the decades and stuff, I think a lot of people have thought, if you're not like a number one selling artist or selling out arenas, you can't really make a career in it. That's maybe a bit unfair to say, but I feel like it wasn't just as commonly known that there is plenty of work out there for like up and coming artists and stuff like that. So I never really considered music a potential career path. I suppose until I started singing. I always loved playing my guitar and stuff, but never kind of realised what I could maybe do with it. But the singing, when I started doing all that, putting them together, it kind of just helped me realise, oh God, I really love doing it. I'm not sure about that. Lots of self-doubt a lot of the time, but feeling a lot better about that kind of stuff these days. The more you do, you kind of do just build that confidence naturally. Like the more like good responses you get from gig to gig, things online, it kind of just, it builds you up. It helps you build that reputation stuff, and just helps you believe that you can go out there and do it. So I feel like I realised quite early on when I started like playing guitar and singing at the same time, I was just going anywhere that would have me, like open mics, random little gigs, buskings where I started right on the streets of Barnsley. And what's been really cool on the busking front as well is I was busking in the town like pre the regeneration of the town centre. So coming down there now, like, it's just an entirely different place to...
Where was your main spot?
I've always done... I'm terrible with places. So you've got the... Do you know where the Poundland is?
Yes.
My first ever busking session was on that little bit right
With
across.
The little walkway between...
Yeah, the little walkway. Right on there.
Street,
That's where I did my first busking session. I did it without a mic, without a speaker. But over time, when I did a few of those, I built like my money up, saved some money up to buy my little speaker and mic set up for the busking.
Please pay me. I need a mic.
Of course, so
more people can hear me.
Absolutely, because it does help. But then where I kind of started going a lot more as like the years went on, because I found people were already there actually, or at the bottom of there. There's like I don't know if the lamppost is still there or not, but it's right in the middle between where you're walking past that side of the glassworks, or if you would be walking towards where the square is right now.
I see. Yeah.
So where I go, I'd be looking like directly where the square was going to be. So my view...
I think that lamppost might still be there.
I think it is.
The busking lamppost.
If we can add a picture in or something like that after or something. But like where I was busking there, looking down there, when I was, 14, 15, 16 years old, what I saw then, whereas what I would see now if I was busking there, entirely different to look at. And it's so cool.
Yeah. And you can't bust now, surely. The amount of people that have come around and watch. Can you do that?
I mean, I tried from time. Do you know? It's why I loved the Tom Walker gig so much. I mean, that was like busking amplified times a million. It's always my favourite thing to do when I start, and it gave me like the confidence and helped me understand, you know, song choices and how to like work a crowd a little bit and stuff. But I got full intentions over the summer to get down and do a few sessions, and hopefully a few people might come down and have a bit of a sing with me.
I think they might. I won't be singing with you because I can't. Well,
I'm sure you've got.
No one would pay you. I'll put it out with. They'd be taking money out of your case. Get him off. So aside from busking in the town centre, what kind of things did you do growing up in Barnsley? Because you say it's changed so much.
And it has, yeah.
Is anything still here that you used to do? Or?
Yeah, I was one of like the scooter kids, to be honest, when I was kids. So I was at the various different skate parks, that kind of thing, but riding through the town centre, all that kind of stuff. And I actually remember it was quite nice to see, to be honest. For the Tom Walker thing, when I made the video putting out like Tom, if you need someone like a support act to come and sing with you. Just in the back, there was just there were just kind of kids around, just kind of chilling in that square, and it was just so nice to see that they could be there in a really safe space with one another, you know, not cause any trouble, anything like that. Really, just a really nice kind of central place.
And I think that's what I feel in the town centre of Barnsley. It is that welcoming kind of...
Definitely.
You know, you can just go and sit outside and have your lunch or listen
exactly.
to some buskers, and it's a nice place, isn't it? So
it is.
For all ages, anyone.
Definitely. And I think it's... like, I've always loved Barnsley, whether all this new stuff happened or not, but what is so nice to see, and you just hear it from so many people, like people always used to be like, oh, I'll go and do my shopping in this city or that city, or I'll go on a night out here and there. But it's like now everyone's like, I just don't feel the need to go anywhere because right here, what we've got in Barnsley is everything that everybody needs, which I love.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Tom.
Thank you so much for having me and for all the work you guys are doing. I really appreciate you championing, empowering everything Barnsley. Yeah, doing really good work.
Yeah, and good luck with everything in the future. We're sure we'll see you on much bigger stages
fingers
as well.
Crossed, fingers crossed.
Looking forward to Barnsley Live, especially. We'll definitely get down for that gig.
Sweet, look forward to seeing you there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.